Well, number one is consistency. I mean, and that's coming from him. And I talked to him last week, and he came to my office, and I asked him what his goals were for the week. And a lot of times, guys will talk about how many knockdowns they want to get, or what percentage grade they want to grade out. And I mean, to his credit, how much he's matured, and he just said, "Coach, I just want to play consistent football." It was a great answer.
What does that look like on film? What is
it looks like no missed assignments. It looks like great in pass protection. It looks like getting moving in the run game. It looks like communicating with the guys around you. It looks like hustling on and off the field, being a leader, congratulating guys when they score touchdowns. All those things. Picking up a guy when he's a little bit down because maybe something happened to him. That's what it looks like, consistency, and he's become a model of consistency right now for us. And that's awesome. I'm so proud of him. It's been 4 years, for him to work his rear end off and get to that point. And I'm just so proud he's continued to stick with it and gets and he's out there doing it every day now.
What fundamental things did you want to see from your left tackles? Stoops talked about cleaning a couple things up.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I mean, every guy that played in that game, there's fundamental things that they can clean up. It's not just the left tackles. The left tackles, this was their first game action. And quite honestly, I thought their fundamentals for their first game, yeah, there's things they can improve on, but I thought, they did some really good things fundamentally. In general, in the run game, they got to have better first steps. In the run game, a bad first step can put you behind on the block and get you beat in a hurry. So they have to have better first steps in the run game. In pass protection, they can't open their hips and give up a little pressure around the outside edge. That caused Nasir to have a hold, okay? It also didn't give them a pressure, but it also, EJ could have cleaned that up a couple times too. So both of them have to make sure they don't open their hips in pass pro. They got to get their heads back in pass protection, use their hands a little bit better. Right now, across the board, there's more things fundamentally we need to improve on, obviously, in pass protection than in the run game. So that's something that we're hitting right now out here every single day. And these guys are working hard at it, but we need to get them fixed because we know that this group that we're going against this coming Saturday can rush the passer. I mean, just look over the history of time, they've always had guys that can get to the quarterback. So that's what we're going to have to go down there and clean up on Saturday.
What did you think of the way Joe played on Saturday?
I thought that he did some really good things. I thought he could have finished it on some blocks a little bit better, meaning just strain a little bit harder all the way to the whistle. Quite honestly, I think his grade would have showed a much higher percentage if he does that. Because, he didn't have a lot of bad mistakes. Maybe one mistake where he knows he was wrong, we know he was wrong, and he gave up a little pressure up the inside. It was his only pressure, but it was still a pressure. And it was a very something that was very easily to get corrected with his eyes and his footwork. So, but other than that, one thing Drake has done since he's started working in there last year is he brings a calming and a consistent play to the table in there at center for you. Snaps were good. Last year we're all talking about that after game 1, right? And 2 and 3. But his snaps were good. Nobody asked about good snaps. Everybody asked about bad snaps. So I think it's my job as a coach to point out that was first and foremost on Saturday. We had really good snaps. That starts every single play out. So he did a good job at that. And like I said, I think he was a little bit consistent, but he could in the run game and pass pro, but he could finish a little bit better.